Hello, it's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my ladies here. Hi, ladies.
Excellent. Hello, Mariah.
YK,
Yes.
how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Let me give you one gist.
Okay.
I took Jumoke for lunch yesterday, birthday lunch yesterday. And she did some work with the BBC over the election.
Pigeon, right.
I remember Jokeli Jaju? She gave out one story that she was filming during the election when one senator to be or senator that did not become said, you are filming me. I feel bolas.
Yeah, we saw it online.
That's not true.
You went
saw it
viral.
online?
I saw the video.
He sounded her.
Was it
Smacked
Joke?
her.
Gave her his...
She said, are you kidding me? I saw the video.
Are you kidding me? I didn't see
I saw the video.
You know me, I don't go online.
Smacked her.
Yeah, smack her face.
Oh my goodness, he's going to pay through his nose.
A public servant who is supposed to serve.
Oh my God, this is a case for, God.
It's
It's online now. It's online. I saw it.
So you saw the
I saw the video
senator.
online. The man was wearing like a red shirt, was walking. I said, she's not filming. We just heard booze. Now we didn't see him smack. We just know that something happened. So
Where is the reporter now?
She works in
our
BBC.
jockey, our former jockey.
So sorry, Joe.
Former our jockey.
Yeah, whatever.
Contact Lima. She
Okay,
likes to
anyways.
fight this kind of battle.
This is your BBC stuff. Trust me, to sort her out. But yeah, hello guys. Welcome to the show. Audience, thanks for coming. We appreciate you every Wednesday. Some of you I've not seen in a while. I've just seen a few faces. Any first timers in the building? You are welcome in the name of the Lord. You are welcome in the name of the Lord. We'll find a song. You know, somebody should come up with a song.
You know,
A first timer song. Come up with a song.
not that
Not that one.
Come to your view.
Hey, talk
You
like
are
it.
welcome to your view. Welcome to your view. You are welcome to your view.
I thought that, child. Is it a fellowship?
Why can't you be singing?
We'll get you a song, all right? So just welcome. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. Hello, BC.
Hi.
The hair.
Thank you.
Why can't you like her
it,
hair?
right? No.
You like it? Why can't you like her hair? It's
No.
beautiful.
Why can't we not answer that question?
This is American girl in Nigeria.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you
Oh
so
my
much.
goodness.
It's
know
Fola's
Baso?
place who did it for me
Can
this
you,
morning.
Baso? You, Murayo.
YK, please.
What will you say?
Leave that thing.
So
Leave
my
that
hair
nothing.
is beautiful.
It's beautiful too, yeah.
And it was jama this morning. But YK, you need to understand the process.
It looks beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
don't need to understand any process. I'm just saying it looks beautiful.
Can we go back to Julia? How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. So yesterday I had to do my liquid soap. I make my soap myself. My
Wait,
kids.
this Igbo girl. She's so clothes.
I'm a local woman.
She raps.
I'm a local.
What does she do
woman.
again?
I'm a local
She acts.
housewife.
And now she's
life
doing
coach.
soap, life coach.
Local
She's doing
house-
counseling,
Love expert.
love expert. She's now doing soap.
For myself, I'm not selling.
Jesus Christi, Lorena. Fact.
Because you know,
She's saving her husband money.
thank you.
Because she has to spend it somewhere else.
That's not fair. So you know, because all these chemicals we have in this, you know, it change over time. You just realize that your skin begins to change and start getting light. I don't want to get light at all. I'm a dark girl. I'm proud of my color, so I make my local soap myself.
That's what she say. Next week now, she says she's selling the soap.
No, I'm not selling. No time.
That's soap.
Body soap or washing soap?
Body
Body
soap.
soap.
With that black, that traditional black soap.
You package it and sell to
No,
us.
I'm not selling. I don't have time. I'm not selling.
Selling. That's not what it is. Yeah, baby, number one.
It does.
How are you doing, Tokwe?
I'm very, very good. You know, the glossy side of business is that everything is good. You see the people outside that they are like succeeding, and you all feel like everything, the entire process is nice. I was talking to someone yesterday, relaunching a new brand, saying that he fell out with his former partner. And this is a business that is by all standards successful. This guy labored, brought in his money and his expertise into a raw business that the guy only knew how to produce this drink. And he made it what it is now. Suddenly, the guy has seen the money and said, I don't need you anymore. He wants to run by himself. So they've been in court. The man now said, I've just let it go. And I'm thinking about it that, why don't we have successful businesses? Why don't we have successful partnerships? I would want someone to partner monetarily in my business, but hearing this kind of thing, we want to do that.
Capitalist society. I mean,
Survival of the
survival
fittest.
of the fittest. You always,
It's so
food.
sad.
I mean,
it's so
these
sad.
things
You
happen.
have to be known for your word, you know, standing by your word, having integrity.
So, Mariah, give us gist now.
Me.
How you doing?
Aside
I'm
from
doing well.
breastfeeding.
No, I'm traveling to Abuja tomorrow by
Yay!
God's grace. I can't host the show tomorrow, so hopefully somebody else will take over for me. But yeah, I have to do a few things. I'm praying, please keep me in your prayers.
As plain.
I heard it
Come
yesterday.
safely in Jesus'
We
name.
don't have any.
We will talk about it. So.
Yeah, there's no Boeing.
I heard
737.
it yesterday. You're
But
safe, don't
by
worry.
God's grace and mercy. So
The Lord is
but I've
with
been
you.
speaking in tongues. From start to finish. GBGB. They will know that someone is in the place.
Why are you people so afraid of death?
Oh, you're
It's
not
not,
afraid of death.
I'm not afraid of death. It's natural. When it comes, it's not like death. You don't die. You live forever, but you just move on to another place.
Okay, so this is life coach BC or which part? I don't
I
understand.
understand that. But for now, we want to stay here.
Yes, there's too much life to live.
Yesterday's show was very intense. The little
my
girl, very
goodness.
intense.
My goodness.
Really, really.
you watched it?
It was very intense. Wow. A lot of people have called in to help the little girl. Lots of people, some people are offering them to some legal services. Others are offering them accommodation.
Accommodation, please.
Another person is offering them counseling. So we'll try to connect them to these people.
Together, yeah.
The
But I
little
think,
girl, we saw her. Cute.
yeah.
Cute, tiny
So
girl
definitely,
like this.
We're gonna follow up on that story. Definitely follow up on that story to make sure that she gets justice.
Many people cried. I got a phone call from a man that said he was actually crying because he knew that this is the height of heartlessness
Wickedness.
and wickedness to do that to a small innocent child. It's really, really bad.
And I thought we were even going to say we realized something after the show that
Well, we got additional information out of it. So unfortunately, we also tried to even link up with the mother and the perpetrator to see their own side of the story, to hear their own side of the story. But the reporter has been trying to link up with them. We've not been able to get them. We're definitely going to try to keep on them and see if we can at least hear their own side of the story. It's always good to get both sides of the story.
Yeah, balance.
So the mother, we're trying to link up with her, and the perpetrator also, who's also at large, we'll try to see if we can get him. When they do get him,
before we
to bring on
send
the
him
show.
to mental home, he has to go to mental home.
Honestly, castrated.
Because if you see the child,
Yeah.
he has definitely something wrong with him.
So definitely we'll definitely follow up on that story. Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right. We're going to start with Punch as usual. Oh, Punch is not ready for me today. Which story is INEC fixes March 23rd for governorship runoffs in 6 states. Mechanic's wife loses pregnancy after alleged assault by landlady and sons. This landlady and children. And their wahala. Fuck, now wow. Articles appeal opposition parties leak names of panel members. Akpabio, Akwa Ibom PDP trade words over governorship poll results. Women protest in Sokoto ask INEC to declare Tambuwa winner. EFCC reopens Erastus Akinbola's 10-year-old trial. Air crash. No Boeing 737 MAX 8 operating in Nigeria, says federal government. We're compiling reports on Nigerian elections, says US. Onoge appeals against CCT refusal to rule on his objections. And Senate begins budget debate, raises new minimum wage bill. In fact, again, Punch has all the stories. So let's just pick a couple here. Waiki, which one do you
Yeah,
want to go
the
with?
mechanic's wife, actually.
Yeah.
He said that he's renting this house from the woman. When their father died, he left the house to his kids. And she was running the house where they are living for her brother. But the wahala came when she asked him to lie to her brother that he hadn't paid rent for 6 months.
Right.
But he says, I've paid you 32,000. Why are you saying? She says, okay, leave after your rent expires. Says, why are you evicting me? Because I refuse to lie. That you want to cause wahala in the family. Next thing, they called her out. They called him out of the room one day. She came with like 16 people and they beat stupid and silly in his body.
How did the wife get involved?
While they were beating him, stupid and silly, another one called Aziz entered the room and used a rod
Oh my God.
on the
wife.
And the woman, she just collapsed, and then he damaged her property. They now took it. They now took her to the hospital. The baby had died in her.
Oh. Waiki, this is really painful because
That's not even the worst part. It's the police cover up.
Oh,
That
God,
was the
again?
worst part. Again. The police, because they had money, the police were now, they now accused the guy, the Sadiq, of
being the one to
Of
incite
being the
the violence. See, for
are
me,
they
we
saying-
have multiple challenges. One, a lot of landlords and landladies, owners of houses, feel like it is an opportunity to
They are
oppress.
Are they even
Yes, they are
regulated?
timid. They're not. We need to regulate it. There needs to be basic. There needs to be humanity in how landlords, owners of houses treat their tenants in every
There
area.
are laws, it's just not enforced.
I don't think so, because we still have some good landlords.
We,
I
of
am a
course.
good landlord, and I don't treat my tenants that way. But my point is, it's as if the law favors just the rich. So once you're poor, they can do anything to you and get away with it. Is there no law that will uphold even both for the poor and for the rich at the same time?
I think we need
fairness
to just bring this issue back, because probably being somebody that can help us understand the laws protecting tenants, and because I know Lagos State has laws.
Beyond that,
But we're
even
also
the police
enforcing
side.
I think we need to even bring like we have audience now, let's bring tenants. And then let's ask them their own personal experiences.
Okay, all right.
Please,
And
pick
let's
one.
call out these landlords and let's let them answer to their... I mean, it's rubbish.
In the space of who we need to bring the IG of police, because I know that while Dolapo Badmus would do very well in trying to defend what is going on with the police, she's still high on the rank, but part of the system.
Yeah.
We need somebody high up, because we have a lot of people that come in and say, go to the police, I have people there, and there's nothing you can do. I will pay
All right.
them and they will sort
Let's
me
move
out.
on to the new Telegraph right now. Unfortunately, we have to move on.
We have time.
Over 609,000 voters to decide autumn Ganduje Tambua others' fate. A human interest story here. Father drugged and defiled 12-year-old daughter. Dr. Sosko, that's exactly what we discussed yesterday.
Yesterday.
Again, 85 killed in southern Kaduna communities. Eyes test may now detect Alzheimer's disease. Nima is not here, should have read that story. Ethiopia crash, no airline operates B737 MAX 8 in Nigeria, says federal government. On against toothache, high blood pressure stall trial. Okay, let's start with the human interest again.
So I have that story. This 12-year-old girl has been defiled over and over by her father. So what he does is he comes back. Initially, he told her he wanted to test if she was still a virgin. And so used
So
his...
he said he heard that she's no more a virgin.
Yes, I
So
wanted
he wants
to
to
test. So he used his fingers initially. Then later, he proceeded to the penis. And then he started drugging her, get her, when she comes back from school, give her
Soft drinks.
Fanta, or soft drinks, give her Fanta or Coke, and then drug her. When she's asleep, he now goes ahead and... not
there
just
no
the
mother in the
vagina, even the anus as well.
No, the mother had left.
Yes, there was a separation, and so they had
You
to
know,
come live with the
I
father.
cringe when I see, I mean, as much as, you see, I hate talking about this thing. Because last one I spoke now went viral, caused wahala for Nigeria. So I'm very, very careful when I pick my words. The other day I went to pick up my kids in school, I think it was just yesterday, and I saw a young man picking up 2 girls from our school, and I'm thinking to myself, immediately I'm thinking, hey,
Is it the
light
father?
bulb, is it the father? Is he, why is he picking up the girls? You know, you could see him really holding. I'm thinking to myself, but I can't say anything again.
you
because
ask- did you
I
tell
will
the
not
school
ask
authority?
Amike Murayo. I'm not going to get into that matter.
You see the thing?
That's the thing. You have
The
to.
one I entered the matter, see all the wala
it
across my
doesn't
family.
matter.
I beg.
No.
I just walk past
Are
it.
you suspecting the man because he's holding
Exactly.
the 2 kids?
Exactly. I can't do that.
No, but you can easily
But-
ask
But
the
we are
school.
here now,
We're here.
and we can talk about it here, that don't allow your driver, honestly, I think that at this stage, with what is going on outside,
information we have.
don't allow your driver
driver
alone with your child. Have your nanny there at every
Exactly.
point in time. It's
The
wisdom
man-
is probably to direct.
Man, skinny, not, you could be like maybe early 30s. Guy holding 2 girls, taking
Okay.
them home, and I'm thinking,
Okay.
I had to cringe.
From
like, okay,
school, right?
no, I couldn't send it from
Yes.
school.
It's because of what you have heard.
Yes.
It might be a totally innocent...
Of course.
I
Of course.
know.
But then,
90% of the time it's innocent.
Yes, wait.
But there's
House
a
help.
small
House help.
percentage.
Even house
But
help
then-
abuse young boys.
yes, we know. But then, since your instinct told you what you do normally, just enter the school and ask them.
I know they do. Thank you.
Who is taking that children?
I know, dude.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
take another story. Tambuwal, Ganduje, all of them.
Oh, okay, the
showdown, politics. I
Inconclusive
hope you read
National
that story.
Electoral Commission of Nigeria, or Inconclusive Nigeria Electoral Commission, or Inconclusive Mahmoud
Nigeria election.
Yusuf.
want
Everything
them to go and
that
arrest you
is
on this
useful.
show.
No, because I'm just speaking what we've seen consistently on social media. So please, BC,
Ma'am?
establish the story. Let me now
Okay,
give
so
my opinion.
3 female commissioners in the cabinet of the Governor Aminu Tambuwal, they led a peaceful procession yesterday to protest that inconclusive governorship election, saying that it's partisan and they are trying to rig it. So they are employing INEC to make sure that they declare Aminu Tambuwal the governor of
That's
the
in
state.
Sokoto.
Yes,
But
in
let's,
Sokoto.
let's go to Vanguard because he actually has all the stories. He says
Yeah, other
March
states.
23rd is the date for the makeup for polls in Adamawa, Kano, and all the states that was declared inconclusive. Gunmen kidnap expatriates in Kano, kills 1. Senate begins 2019 budget debate today, reconstitutes minimum wage committee. Onoge fails to appear for trial, says he has toothache and high blood pressure. More nations airlines ground Boeing 737 MAX 8. Buhari meets 7 APC governors. So let's go back to the political story.
So we have Sokoto, we have Adamawa, we have Plateau, and we have Bauchi, all declared
Benue.
Kano,
Inconclusive.
all
Benue.
declared inconclusive. Yeah. And the PDP is saying that it seems that every state where they are leading is where they are, INEC has declared inconclusive based on technicality. And that even though these issues happened under the presidential election wasn't declared inconclusive, the same issues happened, but we are now suddenly declaring this particular states inconclusive. I'm just worried.
Okay, well, don't be worried, because the truth is that they've actually put March 23rd as the date to actually do the supplementary election. So there will be conclusive results.
Because we
right now,
saw
it's
what happened
inconclusive.
in Osun.
And we also saw what happened in Oyo.
We saw
that
what
PDP. So, see, but the point is that it's always
excuse me.
easy to say,
I only have
Osun
one
happened.
word, one sentence. If the witch cries in the night,
The baby dies in the morning.
the baby dies in the morning, what happened?
It's the witch that killed the baby.
But the point I'm trying to make is that they're both sides of the argument.
Don't mind them.
1 second, somebody celebrating Kwara.
Don't mind them.
Okay. 1 point, somebody is celebrating Kwara. Next moment, somebody is celebrating Oyo.
Yeah.
And suddenly, somebody is making an issue out of this day. So we're saying we
need to be
agree,
fair.
inconclusive.
We need to be fair and seem to be
Was
fair.
Oyo fair?
For Oyo, it was declared immediately, and because we've
I'm asking you
seen
a question, was Oyo
consistently.
fair, yes or no?
For me, they declared it immediately. It happened.
was it fair?
So why was it not
They
declared?
have not been declared, and it's
So
making
yeah.
people that
I
was living in those
was saying
marks.
that they've put March 23rd as a date to
So
do the
we are
complete-
waiting for
what's
March
the issue?
23rd.
Why are we making an issue out of no issue?
Let INEC
They-
declare.
Now, after March 23rd, if there is now still inconclusive the
It won't
election,
be inconclusive
then you can make an
again.
issue.
We remember the Osun case
after
where there
March
was
23rd, if
bribery
the other
and
party-
realignment.
If the other party
Now
wins.
we're into hair.
There was,
Which other party?
and APC wins there.
Because if the APC now wins,
Okay, when that thing happens, we'll discuss the issues. Let's move on right now.
Like that.
So,
Okay.
Onoge,
Yes.
our former CJN that was stepped aside said that he couldn't appear in court because he had toothache and that he has high blood pressure.
Yes, now, Agbalagba.
And I remember that being the CJN, if somebody had given such excuse, what would have followed that report would be that they should bring him in. So I'm wondering that, you know, can we have more honest people of high
He's
integrity?
honest
Can you?
now. Don't assume he's not honest. Why you just
No,
like,
I'm
somebody
saying
says
that
has
there
the
should be no
bipolar?
two standard. If you can have toothache and use drugs and show up in the court, respect the court of law. You are supposed to be the one holding that space
you read the
before.
article?
That was
Yes, I
his
read the
job.
article,
Please tell me
but
what
I
happened.
have people who have when they measure the high blood pressure, it was really high for a man his age.
exactly,
I
it
have
will be
people
high
who
now.
suffer that high blood pressure around me.
He's
It's not really
worried.
that easy.
He's
It's not
worried
really
he'll
that
be
easy.
high.
So let's not assume.
So all of us that
he's
anybody that has
personal.
case now should have high blood pressure. They will not go to court.
No.
if he had gone and he had collapsed and died,
That's another thing.
Please, I beg, stop being so...
and if we don't revisit
I
that
really don't want him to die.
We'll revisit
election,
We will revisit the election.
Morayo, I
All of us
hold
are
you
here.
responsible.
March
We will
23rd, we're all going to be here. Abi?
Yes, by
so
God's
it's all
We will
grace.
not be here. We'll be in our houses.
Okay, let's move on to Daily Sun. Let's see what's in the papers. Tambuwa Ganduje Autumn, others no faith, March 23rd. I just said that. Ethiopian airline crash. No B. Boeing 737 MAX 8 will fly Nigeria, says federal government. We are closely monitoring events in Nigeria, say US. Wow. Rivers Post, soldiers barred us from Collation Center, that's the EU Observer Mission. Ihidioha promises inclusive government in Imo. And Ishako wins, extends curfew 24 hours in Taraba. Let's talk about the Ethiopian Airlines for a second. Who has that story?
The Ethiopian Airlines, they have said that we don't have any of those planes in Nigeria, and that only Air Peace has ordered 10 pieces.
But they've not received it. They've not received it.
I said they have ordered.
Yeah, they've not
And
received
I said they've received. They haven't received it. There are some technicalities that they have not, so they have not brought them. So nobody is flying.
Right.
So our prayers for Morayo, I think, are all right. She will go and come back. There is no 737 Boeing. That she's going to
However,
enter.
funny enough, Malaysia, Norway, EU, South Korea, Mongolia, all of these people have grounded this particular Boeing
China.
737 MAX.
You said
And
they must not see that plane fly in their airspace. If they see it, they would let me not
And
say that.
since Boeing is an American, but America is saying that they should check what is inside to upgrade the system, because it is actually a major technology improvement, affordable and really, really good. So it is a good thing, but they need to watch it. We've lost too many lives right now.
From what I'm hearing, they haven't really educated the pilots on how to use this new software.
Because they can't control it.
Technology. So when the pilot is in the air, the plane is now facing down, and the pilot, because he has not been trained on how to use it, the plane will...
confused.
So it's man and machine fighting for the plane.
Yes.
It's really crazy. Okay, let's take another story. Ladies, we're taking Tribune. Who has Tribune? Who had Tribune today? Inconclusive poll, Kanabauchi, we talked about that already. Any other story? CGN, we talked about that. Ajimobi to Makinde. Don't destroy good things my government has done. Oh, I wish I read that story. Did you read that? Nobody read that. Ajimobi governor, Ajimobi is telling Makinde, the new governor-elect, that he should not destroy the good things he has done.
If he's out to serve the people, then his focus should be on whatever is good for the people. And if you've done good, then he should continue. There should be
There's no other story. I think we've taken all the stories. Let's take a break.
Okay, yeah.
Isn't that story?
The presidency met with
7 governors.
7 governors. The meeting was private. We didn't know what they said during the meeting, but we know that there was a meeting
Behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors. So.
Where do you want the meeting to be?
And today we're going to be
they
visiting 2019 budget.
Do they want them to have meeting in open? You see, close. We must be close, you know.
Okay, that's all we can take on this segment. When we return, we discuss some trending topics, lots of trending topics on the social media. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
All right, thanks for staying with us. So, trending topics. Reno Mekri, we'll start with him. Former presidential aide started a debate saying that physical and emotional abuse are grounds for separation, but they are not grounds for divorce. He further stated that why should you court before marrying rather than date? What are your thoughts on this? Another story that caught our attention, we'll talk about that a bit later, but let's talk about this Reno Mekri's story first. Let me start with Tokwe, because the issue of emotional abuse
And physical, you said, though.
physical has become pretty rampant. I mean, we've always had physical, but the emotional part of it right now is even getting more and more visible because people are realizing that it's beyond physical. But he's saying it shouldn't be grounds for divorce. A lot of people are saying, especially in the West, that in itself is enough to leave.
Deal break.
But here, we've always tried to tell the wives or the spouse involved to manage the situation.
Patience.
Is he taking us back to where we're trying to go away from by these tweets? Because we're trying to say, listen, that's enough grounds for divorce.
The only question I have for him, and I wish he was here, is, okay, what are grounds for divorce?
Okay, so when, I sort of agree with Reno Mekri. When I told my husband, I was like, hey, Tokwe, you're looking for trouble again. And I do not in any way support violence in marriage. I do not support emotional abuse. I do not support physical abuse. However, I do not think that physical and emotional abuse are grounds for divorce. I believe that emotional and physical abuse are grounds for discussion and seeking treatment.
Sure, you will discuss from the coffin.
When there's threat, that's why I started by saying when there's threat to life, I do not support it, you leave. But I feel that a lot of times when we have low tolerance, as time goes on, as we are getting more modern, we're not as tolerant as we used to be. And everybody's just rushing for, I can't take this anymore, I'm leaving. For physical and emotional abuse, I feel that we should have a discussion.
Right.
Because a lot of times when they get treatment, these people have issues already. Anybody that raises his or her hand to beat another human being might have issues inside. Right. Some of these issues can be dealt with.
Okay, can I ask you what are grounds
deal
for
with
divorce?
the issues. When you've tried...
Since you agree with him, let me just ask
when you have tried every means to resolve physical and emotional abuse and it didn't work out and your life is threatened, then divorce the person.
Okay, let me come to you,
So I believe he's speaking from a standpoint of the scriptures. Okay, so when you say there is no, the scripture says, do not divorce. God hates divorce, that's the word. But you forget that the scriptures also mention that husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her. Wives, submit to your husband. So if there's love and there's submission, there won't be abuse in the first place. Because he that must come to equity must come with clean hands. You have removed abuse, and then you are enforcing the law you like, which is no divorce. You're forgetting that abuse is not supposed to be in that marriage in the first place, and that's why the scripture gave, I hate divorce.
He didn't quote scripture,
Hold
though.
on. I said he's talking from a standpoint
You're
of
not in
the
his mind,
scriptures.
though.
Is he not a pastor?
Reno Mokri is a pastor.
He's not a pastor.
Reno Mokri.
He does church things, right?
He speaks, but
it's the same thing.
Okay,
It's
we
the
don't know
same
if he's
thing.
talking about the church,
Yeah,
but we're
that's
asking.
right.
That's why I
Yeah.
said I believe.
Okay.
That's
All
my
right.
opinion. So let's even look at it this way. I've worked with women who have been emotionally abused, and we know that emotional abuse is even far deeper because you don't see it on the physical. It leads to suicide and even depression. As a matter of fact, the physical abuse is the one you see, and
Yeah.
we have seen people that have died from being physically abused. So is it when I am dead that I'm saving a relationship? If an abuse is there, the first thing to do is to leave that environment and
He agrees
find
with
that
separation.
healing.
He's just saying you shouldn't divorce.
But even if you separate and you find out that you have irreconcilable differences,
Okay.
you can
Let
divorce.
me come to the audience because I would like to really know what a deal breaker is for you. Like,
I was just about to ask you,
what's
what is your
the
deal breaker?
What's that thing your husband would do or your spouse would do?
At the end of the day, she said some women have emotional abuse. In the ratio of emotional abuse, we get more from women because the talking and the words, women are stronger with words. When we talk about physical and emotional abuse, you make it look like it's one-sided, like women are the recipients. It is in both sides. I believe that when you decide to marry someone, there was a value your spouse brought to the table that you really liked. And everybody has baggages. Can you help your partner through that baggage of the abuse?
Okay.
Sometimes they don't even know what they are going
Right,
through.
okay,
Sometimes they don't even know what they are saying. You speak
That's
to
why
them
we
like,
tell young girls, you have to go to this thing complete as a woman.
Yes.
What, you see, people
And
are always,
men.
people
Know
are
who
rush-
you are.
not even young girls, but men too.
Yeah.
People are also always rushing to this thing called marriage. And I always say, I've said on this table several times, you have no business getting married if you're not emotionally and
Stable.
and they're even ready for that.
What's the deal breaker for you?
YK, I'm not going to go there.
no, we're not going there.
YK, I'm not going there.
I'm not
Okay,
discussing.
they come and say,
Our discussion
Okay, for me,
is.
a deal
let's
breaker
go
for
there.
me.
Let's go
I
there.
will
We
go
can-
there.
we can
Yeah.
go
For me,
there.
a deal breaker is if my husband or partner is sleeping with another man.
Okay, that's so even if he beats
Oh, really?
you, it's fine.
Yeah.
If he
So
beats
homosexuality
you, it's fine.
for you. For me, at the end of the day,
No,
there is
I was
oppor-
asking her a question. If he beats you, it's okay. You can find a way to resolve it.
No, I can't.
Hey, so it's a deal breaker.
Let me put it like this. If you slap me once,
we can resolve.
then you beg me, and you say it was a mistake, I might listen. I might. Oh.
Listen.
If you slap me 2 times, mistake don't they pass again.
Handshake.
By the time you slap me and you,
Third time.
I pack my baggage. And,
Okay,
when
second
it has passed first slap, second slap, it has now turned to beating.
Okay.
Then you leave.
You leave.
Then I have marks on my body.
YK, sometimes there's only
we
one
get
slap. Wait,
treatments.
YK, there's only one slap that takes you to heaven.
Yes,
One
because you
slap.
can just land
So
on it.
If you think, do one slap, I'll forgive. Second slap, I'll forgive. One slap.
But if you give me, excuse me, if you give me one slap
Yes.
and it takes me to heaven, there is no way I can leave the marriage. I've already left.
I wanted to hold talk based on saying that emotional abuse is more of women talking. That's not all about emotional abuse. You have men who practically suppress you every day without even saying a word. They have men who do not
And women don't do
appreciate-
the
no,
same.
No, hold on. It's both ways.
Hey, I
But
said that
I
already.
tried to define how you saying that it's just about
No, I
talking
didn't say
and
it's just
nagging.
about. I
That's
said
what you
that
mentioned.
more
That's
women,
what you
because at the end of
mentioned.
the day,
it's not about more women.
when we sit down here as women, we come across like what I was supposed to defend our gender, but I realized that I was talking to a friend, and a very close friend, and she told me her husband beat her. I said, what happened? She told me what she said. When I heard it, I cringed. How would you say this? Why would you say this?
So you collect
You know, and there's no justification for the beating, but why would you say it? And she didn't think she was doing anything wrong. For her, she was wondering, she was just expressing
I understand that,
herself. So when you bring the person to the realization of the impact of your words on me,
Yeah.
so that's, if you love
I've
you
been
enough.
I think I've said that before. I've been in that situation whereby myself and my husband had a normal argument. And he said, if you cross this line, I will slap your face. Me, I wanted to do, you can't do anything. If you cross this line, Mariah, I will slap your face.
Yes.
My brain told me, you
Don't
better
cross
reverse.
that line.
Because this man is angry. I didn't cross the line. Because I actually almost did. But my mother was like, wait, thank God you didn't cross that line. Because if you could have actually
You'd have dead
aggravated him. He was angry at that moment. And as a wise woman, you know that if you do that,
know
so
you're
women now don't like they got ego trippy and say, but yes, I'll cross that line. What can you do? And you get slapped.
So, Mariah, for me,
You see, you collect that kind of slap. It's not a deal breaker now, because you know that you are the one that provoked the slap.
slap.
So you have crossed the line. They are giving you.
Let me take this call and I'll come to the audience. Kemi, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Femi, actually, not
I can't
Kemi.
hear you. Please speak a bit louder.
I said this is Femi and not Kemi.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
Good morning. Yes, please. I would really love to contribute to the show
Yeah, go ahead.
this morning. I think Obiangeli said something that you can only divorce on differences. Please, I would like to ask her, can she give an example of an irreconcilable differences? Because I, for one, I don't think there is any difference that is beyond reconciliation.
Okay.
As an individual. So perhaps you can give us instances of irreconcilable differences that can lead to divorce. Thank you and good morning.
All right.
Both of you cannot reconcile, no?
Exactly. So some people get into marriage without really knowing their partner. And then you get in that marriage and you realize that on a normal day, I cannot even stand this person working with me. I can't be in this relationship with this, but we're not just compatible. He's not a hair or he's gay or something. So there could be something, and it depends on your boundaries. And I wanted to say that initially, that we need to start having that discussion even before we get married. We need to start creating those boundaries. So I told my husband when I was dating that the day you lift your hand, I'm out. So he has it at the back of his mind till tomorrow that any day, no matter how upset he is and he's fuming, he will not raise that hand. I am out. I'm not joking.
Okay, let me come to the audience.
No, before you go to the I need to ask all of you. What if it's the woman that slaps the man?
Exactly. Because we keep looking at it from the man's side. But I believe that. See, please, because at the end of the day, I know someone who is about to go through second divorce. Because, and I was discussing with her, I said, calm down. You've gone through this before. You are now eager again. I can't stand him. Tolerating one another, you would get into another marriage and you will find out another gunpowder. So you must understand that while you are here, how can I salvage what is going on? What are the advantages of this marriage? Is it worth the stress?
Well, like you said, only hurt people hurt others. So if you are hurt within yourself, there's no way you enter a marriage and you're not hurt the partner.
So help the person get healing.
I need to understand what exactly is a deal breaker for you. Tom, can somebody let me take one or two comments from the audience. Please go ahead.
Good. Marriage is for two mutual adults. You don't go into it when you don't have a mindset. Your mindset first should be love. Okay. And when you devote yourself to a relationship, whether the good aspect of it or the bad aspect of it, two of you should respect one another. That is why it's very, very essential to go through marriage counselings before you go. Even though, even with marriage counselings, you cannot know your partner enough.
Okay, let me paint the scenario, because they say a woman she's an illiterate, she's not gone to school, she has no job, she's not empowered generally. And this man has picked her up from nowhere and brought her into a home, taking care of her, everything. She's dependent on this man. And now he beats her up, takes advantage of her, he even violates their children. Is that a deal breaker for him?
You violate my children, I will wrong. My child.
In that kind of situation, so we all say, oh, you have to love. There's nothing should stop you from, reconciliation. But there are some issues
that you cannot reconcile.
Let me take one more comment from the audience, and I'll take this call.
Yeah, it's important that women understand themselves, because actually God created a woman to help a man. But if a woman is not understanding that, it brings problem to the house, and a man is something that should be calm whenever they want to get married. And so if you understand this point, I agree with my sister who brought in God's advice. It's the best way to go.
Thank you, my brother.
Okay, all right. Let me take this call, then I'll take another call. Hello, thanks for calling. Ramake, go ahead, please. Yes, thanks for calling.
Thank you. Abuse is not a ground for divorce. Most of the time, people, when we talk about abuse, we see the man being the one abusing the woman. But right. There are lots of people in relationship where the man is even the one that is emotionally and psychologically battering the woman.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, I support the Bible. The Bible says God hates divorce. But when you are at the receiving end, when you have a man who is always psychologically abusing you, all because you more like, okay, you earn more than I am, because lots of Nigerian men cannot handle successful women. So if you now see that this man, because there are different marriages, Let us face reality. Some men can talk. In fact, if you beat me, I will forget. But there are some words that will be spoken to you. And it will take the grace of God for you to erase that word from your heart.
Right. Okay. All right. Point taken. I'll come to you. That's Saraki.
No, I was just going to say that, you know, the man in this part of the world really has, when women are talking, they really have a bad rap. You know, the way we talk about men is as if they are on that side of the divide and we are on this side, and they are our enemies. They are not our enemies now. We love them.
So we should help them.
Okay, let me take one more comment from the audience. Go ahead, please, sir.
Well, I just want to leverage on what my sister Tokwe has said about discussion, bringing things to discussion. I personally have experienced by grace of God with women who I realized that we suffer most times for ignorance. Ignorance is a serious issue. And many times we take action before we have knowledge. And you see that you have taken decision that will have crashed a beauty that is still waiting ahead. So I have I'm not just talking theory. I know it's a woman who came to me while I was directing music in the church. She was just waiting that morning. She was not waiting for choir practice. She said, Brother Ayo, do you think there is hope for me again in this marriage? And when we sat down and we dealt deep hand into the matter, I saw that she was suffering for what she herself is causing.
All right. So,
why I'm saying this is that it's good that before we start going to extremes, let's make sure that we are sure.
Right, 100%.
That and clear about the issues that we are.
I'll come back. Thank you very much for that point. Let me come to Obiajulu because I know that you're taking classes in this kind of therapy to help people.
Yes.
In your learnings, what have you seen as the cause of this physical and emotional abuse from both sides?
Okay, abuse is basically a struggle for power. So you want to show that I am the person who is in a position of power. I want to lord it over you. And it's both ways, like Tope said. It could be a man, it could be a woman. There's no law that says it's just the man that abuses. A lot of women abuse their partners. So it's a struggle for power. You are not sufficient in yourself as a person. You are not sufficient that you are good enough. So that struggle you have on your inside is what you reflect on your partner.
You have to dominate.
So you want to dominate. That was really causes abuse in marriage. And then for some people who are naturally hot-tempered, who maybe, and if you trace it sometimes, if you trace their family, it's somebody in the house, maybe the child was small when the mother was beating the father or the father was beating the mother. And it's in your DNA already.
Right.
You get into marriage playing that script.
Okay, let me
That's
take
what
this call
usually
from Karen. Karen, are you there? Thanks for calling. Hello?
Hello?
Go ahead, please.
I just want to make a contribution. There is a family friend. Hello, my name is Karen, calling from Kaduna. First-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
His wife was emotionally affecting him. And because of the emotional stress that the wife was bringing on him, he had high BP to the extent that he died in a bus on his way to work.
Oh, God.
And he doesn't beat her. He doesn't do anything. And the thing is that she fled. He tried and tried to talk to her and all those things to no avail. So men too do go through this emotional stress, not only women.
Yes, we know.
Thank you very much, Karen.
So,
Let me come to the lady in red is waiting for me. Then after that, I'll come to you. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Okay. What I want to say is that in marriages, in this West, in this side of Nigeria, it's not Nigeria, it's Africa generally, women seems to be, they are always at the end of receiving whatever they get from the marriage. This is the situation, this is in Nigeria generally. Men, we always hear this caution, women do this, when you get to your husband's house, you do this. They are training for women, there are so many this thing guiding them. But for men, there is nothing guiding them. Some men are coming from a very battered and malfunctioned homes. And some of them, they have fear. when they see women that are stronger than them, they begin to, some women are so strong that some men could not bear them. And those are the things that causes
point taken.
and
Yes,
retaliating.
Because most of the time, when we see abuse, we admit that there is a cause for that abuse. And we understand that some cases you have family background upbringing causing it. Does it make sense for you to beat your child that is sick? You know your child is sick and is vomiting. You now beat the child. Eat your food. Beat the child. Eat your food. It doesn't make sense. You should understand that the reason the child is vomiting is because the child is sick. So you deal with the sickness, not the vomiting and by beating the child. Can we get treatment for marriages that have issues?
Can you even get treated before you enter the marriage in the first place?
Thank you,
yourself.
Treat
Behold,
yourself.
know who you are.
I wish that was ideal. I wish that was ideal. I wish that everybody married knew who they were going to be before marriage. But even as confident as I was before marriage, even when I knew what I wanted to do in my life before marriage, I have changed a lot in marriage that is a different thing.
The only thing that is constant in life is change.
Exactly.
So we all change.
Yes.
I'm not the person I was 20 years ago.
Of course.
You know, so we have to always make allowances for that change.
Tolerating one another.
Sometimes beating is coin. Some people have coin.
Yeah. We have to run up, but I think as we run up this segment, I think what is important is that nobody's perfect and will continue to change and grow. Everybody's going to grow. Yeah. But before you enter into a marriage and partner with somebody else, know who you are, know what you can take, know what you can't take. Understand, bring those issues to the fore. So both of you discuss it. This is my background, though. That's your background. And then, so that, sorry?
Yes, attend trainings before marriage.
You should train, you should enter training before you marry.
Attend trainings.
Timothy has been waiting for me. Timothy, please, go ahead.
Nothing, we are not here for your view set.
Timothy, go ahead, please. Let's talk to Timothy. Are you there? Oh, I'm so sorry, Timothy. That's what we can take on this segment, but we just really hope that understand what your deal breakers are, discuss it with your spouse. You know that, well, God, this is being madam.
Seek professional help.
They say you should go to school before you marry.
Please, and the truth is this,
school of marriage.
Listen. There's no guidelines for this thing called marriage or even parenting. People are going to school for these things, and we have Praise for where we have now Obiajula amongst us, we have we have Innocent Usa. There are so many of them out there now that are training people. Go and learn, get learning, so that because you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your children, because you're going to create a home for these children to be raised properly. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we have an amazing and interesting personality as our guest. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
All right, thanks for staying with us. So we have with us Oyinkansola Saraki Smart, a daughter of the late Dr. Olusola Saraki. She's a politician and an expert in housing law. She's also a highly motivated individual with over 5 years' experience of dealing with review and appeal cases in local authority in the UK. Welcome with us, Mr. Oyinkansola Saraki Smart.
Thank you very much.
You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Right, good to have you now, Miss.
Thank you very much.
You definitely have your dad's space in the field. Cool, yes. So before we get into your career, the whole works, obviously there's a lot of drama going on in Kwara right now. Everybody's saying that the Otogare campaign worked out, and people are even claiming independence. What's your take on that whole? How does it make you feel that you're part of a family that seemed to have not been really loved or appreciated by the people that they actually invested in for so much?
Thanks for having me, and hello to the audience. Yeah. It's very sad, really. It's really very sad, and if people can remember in 2011 when I contested and my brother messed up big time, I mentioned it to my dad that if he's not cautioned, he's going to mess up. It's really sad, and in the last few days, I've apologized to Quarant that we're very sorry on behalf of my brother what he's done, because they really love my dad. And that's why my brother had the back to climb on for him to practice his political thing. But for him to, I mean, it's so disturbing.
You've been described as an illegitimate child, that you have no say. You were in the UK, that if you're part of the family dynasty, maybe you don't have this position because you're not part of the people that ate of the family, but because you are like this child from nowhere that just showed up some years back, suddenly you now want to be part of.
It was Bukola that said it. If you remember, my father never said anything like that. It was Bukola that said it when we had the clash in 2011, and he had the same clash with Bemi as well. So it was what that said it, and I told him to shut up anyway, because he has no right to say anything. But we're from different mothers, yes. And I grew up with my mother. He grew up with his own mother. My father is a Muslim that has the right to marry more than one wife. Okay. So everybody knows that. So he was just chatting rubbish of what he was saying. But for what has happened now, has even vindicated me, because then I said it. I was even, you know, we were brought up in UK. We studied in UK. So when he became governor, I was expecting a change, you know, for him to do something different. But fortunately, it's really sad, really.
So, do you believe in the Otoge movement? Were you a supporter of the Otoge movement?
Oh, yeah.
1. 2, do you feel that if you were given the platform, you would have done a better job in serving the people? And if you feel that way, what have you done so far in serving the people of the state?
Okay, yeah, I feel if I've given it better, I would have done serve the people. I tried. I had a foundation in Kwara before he messed it up, Bukola messed it up, where I look after old people, which my dad used to do. I looked after people that could not pay their school fees and buy wheelchairs. Are you sure you're not
bringing personal issues between you and your siblings to politics?
I love him to bits. I love my brother to bits, but one of the problems in this country is that they never call a spade a spade. They call it an agricultural instrument. I love him to bits.
Can I ask you this question? Because for me, I come from a family where I think that your dirty linen should be kept inside the house. I don't think so. I mean, I cannot imagine coming on the show and abusing any of my siblings or my father. Even if I have any bad thoughts about them, I wouldn't. So I'm finding you're disturbing me a bit, because you're like really going low on your brother. I would have preferred a situation where both of you are sitting together and then you beat each other for us to see. How do I know that this is not just personal? And it's not. I mean, I don't know your brother.
As I said, I love him to bits. And one thing you should realize, but that doesn't stop me in telling the truth. Okay. You know, let me tell you something. When you have the fear of God, there's some things you will not do, there's some things you will not contain. For example, when I was campaigning, I told people that, yes, politicians use you as stock. They give you knives, they give you everything. You go there, kill yourself. Meanwhile, their children are abroad studying. So there's some things, we cannot be the same. We're not watching. Once you're a public figure, there's nothing to hide anyway, because even if you don't say your things out, people will search for you. So I love him. And that's why I apologize on his behalf to Kwarans that please forgive him. If he makes his way right, I'm sure they will accept him back. Maybe next election he can contest. But this is not a dirty linen, it's just the fact.
Okay, ma. Your brother said something and then your father didn't say the same thing. But your father was silent. How did you feel knowing that, okay, I think you would have expected he would come out and say, okay, this is my daughter in public. But then he just, kept quiet. How did you feel? That's one.
I didn't feel anything bad because he spoke to me and told me to ignore Bukola. Everybody knows what Bukola is about. So what will I do? I just said, okay, and that was why I kept quiet.
Okay, and you didn't move anything? You didn't say anything about it? Okay. No. So now, over the past 12 to 16 years, you guys have been in stewardship in the States. Yeah. And we can't really hold anything tangible that you've done. You served in the Senate.
No, I didn't. That was Bemi.
Okay, Bemi, yes. Served in the Senate. Your brother, 2-term governor, and your sister as well. And how do you, assess your family's stewardship in the state? And I really believe that everybody from the same blood is thicker than water. Do you think you would have done anything different from what?
Well, yeah, even though we're the same blood, but we're not different. If we have two children, they have different behavior, isn't it? Okay. So even though we're the same blood, we have different mindsets, we have different spirit, even different upbringing. Even if we're twins and they're identical, you see it's a different thing. We've not served, to me, I'm not happy the way my brother served Kwaran. And that's why I spoke out when I saw him in 2007 first, and I told him privately, and that was how this drift started. And I said, listen, what you're doing is not good. That was when the Zimbabwe farmers started, and people in Shonga was complaining that Saraki's family took their land and everything. And I said, okay, there's a way you can go about it, because to me it's oppression. I lived in UK. You don't do such things. You don't oppress people like that.
Let me come to you. I'll come to you right again. I also come from a polygamous family, and my mother is the first wife. So I understand how this thing somewhat plays out. A child who we hear about somewhere, we don't know you, my father didn't officially tell me that you're my sibling, you're my sister, and we just heard of you. You show up. There's always a part of humility that comes in. Okay, you know what? You come into the family, and there's a part of, listen, I'm trying to reconcile with you. If you come in with, listen, you guys have messed this place up, I'm the child, I'm a legitimate child, I'm this. If you come with that kind of arrogance, people, they will definitely, they will be repulsive. So do you think you played that humility card of, listen, guys, yes, I've been out of there, I'm back now, receive me, welcome me, reconcile me with the family, or did you come with the arrogance that said, you know what, we don't even want a part of you?
I can do this better.
I was never out there. They know I exist. We're different mothers. Everybody knows each other.
Okay.
But when it comes to politics in this country, you just say what you want people to know.
Okay.
You understand? So everybody knows who Baba's children are. As you've said, you all know. But when it comes, or especially when you're not agreeing with the other party, they tend to paint you as, oh, you're the rebellious child, you're the this child.
Your father was chairman of Society General.
That's correct.
And it chopped people's money.
My mother's money included.
Oh, God.
I apologize.
My mother's money was there.
Are you going to talk bad about your father now?
No, I'm not. I'm not going to talk about it. It's late, so there's nothing to talk about.
People's money.
I apologize.
Later alive, you still chop people's money.
I really apologize.
A merchant in she was selling flour, sugar, carrying all her entire business crumbled. And money was Societe Generale.
So there's been a legacy.
My brother's money was there. He was a struggling musician, and he put his money in Society General. And it was your father that was chairman then.
You see, for me, how do you wash yourself clean when you are from a family that has so many baggage, bad blood all around?
It's very difficult. That was why I came out first in 2007 to Quran as I started the foundation. And 2011, I came out as well. And people in Quora, they know that I'm against what is happening. We cannot all be the same. It's a shame. There was a time I was in London, and I was in a bus, actually. And somebody was reading something about this Society Generale thing, Saraki. That was when the bank came down. And there were two of them sitting, and they were really cussing, shake me, did everything. And I could not even say, I can't even say I'm part of them. Because I was so ashamed.
Will be.
You understand? It's a shame. We're not the same. Saraki's children are not the same. There's some of us that are different. It's just unfortunate that it's the bad one, not the bad one. I love him, but it's fortunate that he's behaved in that manner.
Some people will say you're just jealous because you're not part of it.
No, I'm not. I'm very comfortable. You can see me, I'm very comfortable. I have a good job in the UK. I'm very comfortable. But what is happening is not, listen, I'm a Christian. Right. I believe so much in God that nemesis will catch
Okay, let's take a few seats, YK. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Let me take them.
All right, go ahead.
Daddy says, don't shout Onyi down, Joe. You guys asked her honest opinion. Do you expect her to hide her feelings? Her brother is a public figure, and she said, ain't washing dirty family linen in public. Onye, God bless you for being assertive. Kike Perez says, terrible parents should... Sorry, this is not...
okay, Andrew here.
Andrew, yeah. So what position has this lady Saraki Smart got in Kwara State? You can take the next one. Akiwumi King.
Every other thing is on marriage.
No.
Okay, let's go on a
Akiwumi
break.
King says, Oyinkansola Saraki Smart has done justice by speaking the truth. She shouldn't be seen washing as any dirty linen in public. A spade should be called a spade. Everyone knew Bukola Saraki was going to find himself in troubled waters.
Okay, so practically you're gloating right now.
Thank you.
You are?
I think
That's what
so.
you are. Okay, let's go on the break. When we come back, we'll take more tweets, phone calls, and we'll now focus on your career. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying. We're going to open our phone lines to hear some, get some calls. But what's your, so let's try to round up this whole political angle. What's your political future? Would you plan to go back to Kwara to run at some point? Do you plan to reconcile with your brother at some point? What exactly is your plan?
Number one, I'm not fighting him, even though he may be fighting me because of speaking out. So I'm not fighting with him. I still love him. So Like contesting, I'm not really into this contest thing. I just want the governor-elect to just give me the chance to do what I want to do. I don't have to be in office to do what I want to do.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
To serve Kwarans, just to, in a way, to say we're sorry. Like continue with my foundation.
So you had a foundation, but your brother made it stop.
Yeah, because anytime we have a meeting, the talks come in there, bring everything all around. The same thing he did to Gbemi. So we just had to stop.
Are you close with Gbemi?
A bit, yeah. We're all right. Yeah, we're all right. Well, yeah, because it came to a stage everybody was upset because my dad was not, in a way, taming Bukola. So that was why.
Let's call Rafael. Are you there? Thanks for calling. Hello? Are you there? Okay,
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Good morning. This is Taiwa Bimola speaking.
Go ahead, please.
This is Oyinkansola speaking.
We can hear you.
This is Oyinkansola. I'm here. Yeah, I'm there. Hello? I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Turn down your TV. Turn down your TV.
Watching on TV. So yeah,
you can't listen to yourself. Please, you see, just one quick one. And I realize that we all want to name and shame people that are bad in our closets. You've taken a bold step in naming it publicly, and that might put you under major fire. Yeah. How is your immediate family responding to this bashing and popularity that you're getting from speaking against your brother? How are they reacting? How's your mother feeling about this? How's your husband feeling about this?
They know me right from start that I call a spade, so they're not surprised that I'm doing this. They know I don't like what they're doing, and they're supporting me because whether you like it or not, I keep telling people what you sow, you will reap. Nemesis will catch up. I don't want any nemesis to catch up with my children or my grandchildren or even upon me, because once you cause, like what your colleagues have said, that the parents had money in this bank and it collapsed, do you know what pain they would have gone through at that particular time? I don't want my children or myself, I don't want any curse upon myself or my children, so that's why I'm saying the truth out. My brother has not served Kwarans the way he's supposed to, and I apologize.
What would he have
Did your father serve Kwarans the way?
He did better than Bukola, yes, I would say that.
What would you have preferred Bukola to do? What exactly?
He lived in UK. So he would have at least tried to implement some things, upgrade what is in UK. He studied there. If UK did not upgrade their country, when I was doing my housing law course in London South Bank University, UK, they took us to a museum in Birmingham. I was very surprised how UK was before. Apparently, UK had face me and face you accommodation before, with no toilet, no bathroom. They had this potty thing we use.
It's a lie.
I'm telling you, the museum is still in Birmingham now. And I was surprised that they upgraded. Look at United Kingdom now. So if they can do that, why can't we do that? Especially we that we've lived there.
Did your father upgrade the Kwara?
Let me take a call. I'll come to you, Yajilu. Thanks for calling. Are you there?
Yeah.
Hello. Go ahead, please, Charles.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I can hear you. Go ahead.
What I want to say there, I've been listening to the program, Oyinkansola Saraki speaking. The foundation of this, of what she is talking, hello?
We can hear you.
Okay, the foundation of what she is talking so far is more or less a domestic issue, a family issue. We all know the peculiarities of family, let's say, polygamous family that have generated to this extent. Is she trying to say that she has exploited all other means of resolving the issues between him and his brother Saraki before coming out to the public, putting his family in a political display? That is not of good at all. Now, what the dad has worked so far, she is publicly saying that the dad or the family has messed up Kwara, that she's apologizing to Kwara. Is that the best way to go about it, considering that this is all about reputation and profile?
Thank you very much, Charles.
Kwarans are complaining too. So I'm taking you back to your foundation, which is housing.
Yeah.
And I don't know is there like any plan? Let's take, for instance, do you have plans in the future to improve the housing, whether you're in government or not, improve the housing of Kwarans? Because now you know that we have housing schemes that do not cater to the poor and the needy.
Yeah.
We have housing schemes that, even in my area here in Lagos, there's a place that they've pegged the houses for 60 million each, and it was supposed to be meant for the poor.
Yeah.
So do you have plans of, giving the poor people affordable housing through your foundation, whether you are in government or not?
If I'm not in government, I can't do that because financially I'm not buoyant enough to start building houses and giving it to social housing. But this is the responsibility of the government. Okay. In UK, I work as a review and appeal officer that we deal with housing, we deal with illegal eviction, I was a DV, means domestic violence lead officer as well. Government have what we call social housing, means that low-cost housing for people that cannot afford to buy the property. So it is the responsibility of every governor of every state to make sure that these houses, because if you look at what these landlords are doing, it's so, oh God, so upsetting. It's terrible.
Let me take this call from Chudi, then I'll come to the audience. Thanks for calling, Chudi.
Yeah, good morning, Morayo.
Morning, go ahead, please.
And members of the House. I most appreciate the Saraki daughter that is there before you.
Thank you.
I must confess that this is a new brand.
Thank you.
Nigerian. I don't think a
from the
Nigerian
UK.
No, we need for somebody to come out and accept the fault of his father and say, I'm sorry. And I mean, this goes to show that really she's coming from the UK. She's
oh no, please.
And my dear, I will appreciate you more.
Thank you.
Please, the family,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, let me come to the audience. Thanks for any comments from the audience. Go ahead, please.
Okay, Ma, I really enjoyed what you say. I appreciate you a lot for coming out to tell us the truth. But I think that moving forward, whether we like it or not, Saraki is a good politician. He was in that Senate as a Senate president against the will of the APC, the party, and he remained there for 4 years. He could not be impeached. So don't you feel like moving forward, I need to see more women in government? You're a woman. Your sister fighting Saraki too is a woman. Don't you feel like you should mobilize with people like Saraki, other big politicians, to make sure that women, I want to see a female governor, I want to see a female senator. We have 109 senators, and only two or three women are going to be there. So I want you to, don't you feel like you should move now and make sure all women are fighting
Thank you very much for that point. So in addition to what he's saying, I think what I'm hearing him say that, listen, yes, there have been issues. Let's us reconcile. So what we the people would like to see, not the Saraki family coming down or imploding, is where you, the Senate President, the sisters, everybody come together and try to resolve this. Is that what you wish for, or is this something that is totally impossible to happen?
That's what me and Gbemi wish for. But if my brother doesn't want that, we can't force him. He's the oldest. So if he's not ready to listen to any one of us, there's nothing we're going to do.
3 children?
No, but they're just 3 in politics. So he's not ready to listen to us. If he's willing to do that, why not?
So
and he will save
one from a different mother?
No, definitely
So with this
not.
medium, hopefully he can make a rethink. That's what you're thinking.
Oh, with prayers.
Hopefully. Let me take Kyle, then I'll come to Chokwe. Kyle, are you there from Lokoja?
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. I'm calling from Lokoja. I think we should give that my sister a space to say the truth. Because Nigeria doesn't like the truth now. What is happening in this country? If we don't say the truth, we'll still be going backward. It's better we have somebody like her to voice out. So for this country to be good, we need truth, and we need to start on truth.
All right.
That is the example she's showing.
Thank you very much, Kayode.
Thank you.
Sort of following the line of Kayode and Charles, I've always felt that every politician we have that we hear steal money, have relatives and family members, parents and others that are beneficiaries of these stolen funds. And if everyone understands that this money couldn't have been his salary, this senator giving us money must be sharing money that is meant for other people with all of us, and we speak up, we'll get better country. However, beyond politics, beyond going into attacking what has been done negatively, how are you canvassing? You're not the only one. There are many people like you who are disgruntled against what their sibling politicians are doing. Maybe you can turn this into a passion and gather yourselves together to form a coalition, because one person can't do much. How are you looking towards doing that?
It's a good idea you've just said. So it's something I'm going to look into. But it's just that Some people are very difficult to work with in Nigerians because they don't have the passion you have. I don't want to go into politics because I want to gain anything, no. I just want to go there to make things right. So if I can get people that are ready to do that, yeah, it's a good idea, especially women.
Let me take
Did you inherit any money?
Oh, that's personal. I won't be able to answer that.
But you have been discussing personal here since.
Well, I would say my father did his best, gave us everything a father can do to a child.
Okay.
And I'm
Let me
very
take this
happy
call from
with that.
Lauren.
Yes.
Oh.
Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you today?
Very good. We want to hear from
My
you.
name is Oyinkansola.
Hi,
I'm calling
Oyinka.
from Ilorin. Thank you so much. We really appreciate what you've done for us from TVC, your view today. That lady that is there, she's the real daughter of Baba Bukola Saraki. Abubakar. She's the true daughter. There's nothing you can separate from her. She's saying the fact. She's saying the truth. And she's saying the inspiration of Baba Olushola Abubakar Saraki for the citizenry of Kwara State at large. Because it's not condemning his elder brother. He's not condemning him. He's saying the fact, the truth. But his elder brother hates those who is going to face him one-on-one and tell him the truth, except the psychopath that is mingled around him. In all parts of the Lord, that's the reason everybody, all the people, all the spirits rejected him completely in Kwara State. And to be sincere, to be candid with you, I'm so sorry for saying the dynasty of the Saraki is gone in Kwara State, unless he becomes back and he said he's going to rebuild like Oyinkansola that he's praying for. Thank you so much.
We'd like to hear from Bukola
Let's
himself.
go on a break. When we come back, we'll take some more tweets and calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, let me come to Waiki and Reggie for tweets, please.
Okay, tweets, yeah. Steve Agada says the dynastic stranglehold on Kwarans goes beyond only Bukola, but all I hear and see when you're doing right now is scapegoating of Bukola while trying to bring out some sainthood in her father, who created the evil dynasty in the first place. Settle your differences. Omogbolahon Daddy says, rather than vilify and castigate Oyinkansola Saraki Smart, we should applaud her for this bold step to admit the fault of the Sarakis.
Okay.
If Kwarans could champion the Otoge movement, it tells how Polly Bukola Saraki has held the state by the jugular for 16 years.
Azodo says, the old man, Olushola Saraki, Bukola Saraki, Gbemi Saraki, you should all go and let other people lead Kwara instead. The Saraki family should pay up all they owe to Kwara for not leading them right from inception of Saraki family. Mr. Moore here says, Senator Saraki has ardent supporters, some of whom has no root knowledge of the issues. Can Oyinkansola tell us what exactly Bukola did wrong and what he should have done instead?
And St. Peter says, the ladies in the studio are pushing her to be ridiculing her family. Point out a family without issues. It is only that is selfish here. Bukola did not allow Gbemi to become governor because he wanted power to rotate among Kwarans. If he had given Gbemi the position, they would have hailed him.
Okay, what I was going to ask
Oh, wow,
you,
there are loads of tweets.
Yeah, I was going to come to you because I think somebody in the audience said that Bukola Saraki is a smart politician. We've seen how he has smart so all the various opposition within the House. We see how he has something to offer, at least in the last 8 years.
Genius.
What have you got to offer your people exactly? What do you have intellectually to offer them? Because if we're going to say Bukola didn't do well, it's got to be something you're bringing to the table that is better.
Yeah.
What is it?
Number one, there's 2 or 3 important things that is very important in a state or in a country. Accommodation, infrastructure, and we're talking of education. If you look at Kwarans today, there was a time I visited Kwara about 2 or 3 years ago, and I could not believe my eyes when I saw students under the tree in Kwara. There's a lot of, you see, apart from Kwarans alone, Nigeria is messed up. Seriously, because when I look at it, look, oh God, look at it. You're in your house now, the next minute the light is gone.
You better travel when you're leaving this show.
Honestly, they'll come after you.
No, I'm not against anybody. I'm just saying that there's a lot, if we're given chance, there are a lot of people out there that really wants to do something.
Vote for you. If I was a choir, I won't vote for you. Because I don't think you're even sure what you want to do for the country.
No, as I've said it, housing number one. Let me tell you something. If you're homeless, there's no way you can keep a job. Your health is in stake. Oh, housing number one is part of the thing.
What's the guarantee? A lot of politicians come here and give us all the promises. Their manifesto is always as long from here to that end. And by the time they get into power or they have that position, they don't do anything they've said. What's the guarantee? What do you show us now to tell us that you're different from just giving us your promises and saying you want to do this and you want to do that? If you get that opportunity, you will not go back to blood.
Number one, as I've said earlier on, I don't want to contest. I don't need to be a senator or anything to do anything I want to do. Okay. I just want an opportunity. I'm begging the governor-elect, do not disturb me. I just want to do my foundation and everything.
There's a fly in the studio. Are you sure it's not your father?
All right, unfortunately, thank you very much, Madam, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for offering to come to the show. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you again for the audience. Hope you enjoy the show. That's all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.